Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. I thought that this day would never come. And that's not because of the fact that what's happened today is particularly outlandish or crazy or unlikely. None of that, okay? I just thought that amongst the, the fray, I guess, the frenzy of announcements, reveals, hype, surprises, trailers, everything for Black Ops 4, I thought that this particular thing would be kind of pushed to the side a little bit, maybe left for a couple years' time, or maybe just kind of shuttered and closed out for good. But no, thankfully, and this is the best news in ages, I was wrong. And I was wrong pretty damn badly, because not only have we just found out, thanks to Oxin, who's solved many a cipher with the kind of Call of Duty Zombies deciphering community at this point. He's done some stellar work over the years, uncovering storyline information that we just wouldn't otherwise have known. Not only has he found that there is going to be a second series of the Call of Duty Zombies comic, which we have 6 episodes, or 6 issues of, rather, already that came out over sort of the gap between Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4. Not only that, but the new comic is actually going to launch into the new storyline. And I just didn't think that was going to happen. I really did not. Like, we only just found out that they were actually doing a new story, but as soon as I sat down and discussed it with friends, I was sort of left thinking, you know what? It's a new storyline. With the last comic, the reason they released that is to fill in a bunch of gaps that were already pre-existing in the Ether story. And so if there was going to be another comic series, I'd suspect they'd go in a similar direction. But no, literally quite the opposite. We have a description for the new Call of Duty Zombies comic and a front cover. And I'm really, really, really happy about this because at the end of the day, for me, as a big sort of storyline nerd, they could do no wrong with those series, or that series rather. They just couldn't, because no matter what happened, they would be visualizing worlds and scenarios that we had only been able to dream of in the past. And regardless of whether they did that well or poorly, that visualization, for me, is very, very valuable material, because it helps us build, basically, the storyline out in our heads. And I did think, for sure, that a lot of the writing could have been much better in the first series. And I also think that it would have been nice if some of the kind of narrative points had a bit more weight. Like, things happened, but it kind of felt at times like a slideshow of points that we already knew existed in the story, and then some sort of interstitial, in-betweeny kind of frames before we then saw that new next point that we had again already seen. Like, it felt a little bit like they were filling time and not really giving us very much, despite the fact that they were exploring all this new content. So I'm hoping that fixes or changes with this one, and that is something that is fixed. But anyway, let me get to the description, okay? So, once again, thanks to Octinate, he's not an octopus, Oxinate, for finding this one. Meet the brand new cast of characters from this year's Call of Duty Zombies offering in this prequel. Okay? The year is 1910, so that's pre-Titanic, okay? The place is Morocco, interesting, and there is a job that needs doing. The man to do it? A commanding officer in the French Foreign Legion. The prize, an artifact of unspeakable power. The price? More than he bargained for. Now this is really cool, because on the front cover, who do we see? None other than, we're assuming at this point, Bruno. We were introduced to Bruno in the trailers for the new storyline in the Black Ops 4 reveal. Bruno is the guy wearing the striped shirt, if you remember, from the kind of intro bit of the Titanic or Voyage of Despair cutscene, and I guess the whole thing actually, not just the intro, although I guess that is the intro cutscene, so it's the same thing, but we see him punching a load of people, like whacking some bad guys in his little stripy shirt there. We already knew he was French, and so I think that it's a pretty good fit for the guy on the front cover here, who appears to be, A, French, as we've just read in the description, and B, clobbering people just like we saw in the cutscene. There's also, really interestingly, a dude in the background holding a staff. Have I seen staves before in zombies? No, I don't. Hold on. Yes, I have. I absolutely have. Now, this particular staff looks new. It doesn't look like a staff that we've previously seen, which is very exciting. But, I mean, Jason told us that we were going to see staves appearing again at some point, way before we even had Chronicles, right? And Bob's your uncle. Not only do we get our Origins remaster, but suddenly there are staffs in the 9 intro, there's a staff in this freaking cover. What's next? I mean, are we just gonna have staffs in every map in Black Ops 4? Are they gonna appear in Blood of the Dead? Like, how far is he gonna go with this, man? I think this is really cool. I don't think there's much else in the image that is worth kind of getting too kind of obsessive about. I mean, certainly just looking at it and trying to break it down, you've got this guy who is clearly in a little bit of a pain, full spot, getting beaten up, French flags in the background, Bruno's just doing his thing, some soldiers in the back as well, we know they're in Morocco, chap has the staff and he's kind of on looking, chap has a mustache, let's assume that he's British for the sake of stereotypes, so could that be Shaw? Maybe? Probably not. To be honest, it doesn't really look like Shaw to me. Shaw obviously has a load of other stuff going on with his face, but maybe we'll learn the story of how that happened. The release date for this is September 5th, 2018, by the way, which just so happens to be the day, I think, that I am done with my degree. Like, I actually finish my entire course on that day, which is very exciting. Because, you know what that means? It means on September 5th, as soon as this bad boy comes out, come to my channel, I'll do a live reading of the whole thing, I'll talk through the whole story, we'll talk about all the relevance, we'll get a loading screen at the end. It'll be fantastic, it really will be. Now, another thing to mention, Justin Jordan returns for this one. We've got Andres Ponce, Mauro Vargas, and Dan Jackson. So, some old faces and some new faces. Hopefully, this is something that we do learn some more about rather than just having this preview in the next couple of months, because it would be a shame to have heard this now and then not hear any more until kind of like Comic-Con or something like that. Like, I'm really hoping that in the next few weeks even, we do hear a tidbit here and there, but most likely option I think at this point is that it gets to Comic-Con, Jason announces the comic because it's Comic-Con, and then maybe they have either the writers and illustrators, etc. there with them, or they talk about what's going to be in the comic over the course of the season, or, I don't know, something like that. But I'm sure they'll show a bunch of stuff at Comic-Con, and so if there isn't any news in the next couple of weeks, you can expect some then for sure, which will all be covered handily on my channel. So, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thanks for watching, guys. Thank you, Oxin, once again for finding this. If you've enjoyed, everyone, then please leave a like, and I'll see you very soon for some DLC 3 content. Now, I'm not going to be posting a massive amount of DLC 3. I'm in the middle right now of my final year physics research project for my degree. I've got basically 3 more weeks to do it, and so I am literally waking up every day and just doing that. That's all I'm doing with my days, and so my DLC 3 content is going to be limited, but I will still be posting some stuff on the day, so you'll have something to look forward to there. Okay? Cheers for watching though, guys, like I have said, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.